You can auto-tune this part.
S-I-M. Siblings from the vault.
Thank you. I know. I had texted Kirsten and she's like, I can't even believe I'm talking to you about this, you know? Hey guys, welcome back to... Okay. Alright, play us in, King.
Is that your smoke detector? Is it?
It's called a violin.
I can't hear it. It sounds all distorted.
It's called a viola.
What the is that?
What the... Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Siblings in Name Only podcast. I'm joined here with my brothers, if they want to introduce themselves.
No.
Okay, anyway.
No, you first.
Oh, my name's Kelsey, what's up?
No, I was talking to Daniel.
Oh. Hey. I'm Braniel.
No, you go
Okay.
first.
So,
Can our third brother go?
we're not talking about that. You mean our half-sister? Oh. I wanna preface this by saying I listened to the last podcast and I've made some realizations about myself. I'm really whiny and really mean to you guys. I think like the whole podcast last week was, or I guess 2 weeks ago, was literally me telling you guys to shut the up. And I'm really sorry. I want to apologize.
No, but you're right though. Those were the
mechanism.
worst parts. Was when we were talking, like at the moment. Well, I had the giggles.
Yeah.
I can tell you were a little unhinged. You were going a little crazy.
I was
stupid.
super manic, and plus,
yeah, I can tell.
You were drunk. Just say it. You were drunk. You were drinking.
I had not drank a long time before that, and I haven't drank a long time since.
You were drinking during that. You literally raised a shot glass and you're like, I'm drinking.
And I'm not drinking ever
you
again.
And me both.
And
yeah. Well, I just want to say I sounded really whiny. I'm trying to change my personality like I do every 5 months. And I'm going to work on it. Also, you know how some people, they don't have like a face for TV? I don't have a voice for podcasts, so I also need to apologize for that too, you know.
Then why are you doing this?
Because I was forced into it.
that's such a
Because
Natalie
I'm the
response.
interesting one. Wow, that's such a Samantha response.
Wow.
Who's Samantha?
All right, let's hear. Can we do maybe a teacher? I'm on my worksheet, so let's do a bit of a preface of what we're going to be covering today's lesson.
Brandon, I can see your...
Oh yeah, you can.
Put her away. Put that little...
That's what you wear at work?
Yeah. Well,
No wonder your line's the worst one yet. They'd be staring at them.
I know they can't see the music, even if they wanted to.
Oh my god.
Well, it's my fault because I show it off. I show off a little bit.
Well, I have a story I'd like to tell. When I say my life is a movie, I mean it. But we can't get into that.
I'm so excited to hear this.
No, you're not. It's like, you know, like when things happen, and in the moment, it's not that cringe, but looking back, it's so cringe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, here, I'll tell you a different story to get us started that, like, reminds me of this story. So, in my college days, when I was being I would... And this... I don't want to either, but it's already started and it's really funny and I think you guys would literally hate this as much as I do. So I had so I was playing music and he I can't even say it out loud, it's so cringy. He was like, did you have a date to prom? And I was like, you already know where this is going. I was like, no, not like a real date. I just took my best friend Darian. And so he stands up, because we were like sitting on the bed.
I'm taking my headphones out, bro. I don't even want to go there. I can't hear this. I literally can't hear this. My headphones are out. I get the idea. Moving on.
Come on, put them back
No,
in.
I
If you
get the
can't listen to
idea.
this, you can't listen to the
Moving
story I'm
on.
gonna do about this week.
No.
You can't come on
No,
about
moving
Monday.
on.
So
Moving on.
he stands up and he holds his hand out.
Can I have one
And,
out?
like-
Okay, I have one out, one half in. It's like a scary movie, dog. Like, you can't look
The
at
hiding your
movie.
eyes, kind of squinting. So he stands up and he holds his hand out and like kind of like pulls me up.
Oh,
Three
Jesus.
quarters out now.
and he starts like f***ing slow down. I can't. He starts slow dancing with me. I'm sweating, and he starts slow dancing, and he whispers in my. I can't get there. He whispers in my ear. He goes, "Happy prom." Anyway, so I got the giggles if you can't tell. That's so funny. I'm sweating so bad if you can't tell either. For all of our listeners, I'm f***ing drenched in sweat. So anyway, so you know things like that where in the moment, I will be honest, in the moment though, that was cringe. But like in the moment it doesn't feel cringe, then you look back and you're like, oh, like visceral reactions. That's what this story is about.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it just yet. How are you guys doing? Brandon, how was your trip to Florida?
Florida.
You were in Florida?
Florida. Oh, can I just say,
That's why we didn't
you don't
record
have a
last
good
week.
poker face, Brandon.
What's that?
In photos, Kathy sent me a photo of you in Florida, and you looked like you wanted to yeah, how'd it go?
It went. Okay, well, I guess that can be the first part. So I'll just tell you about my trip. So basically, there was nothing, and I'm not like complaining because I don't like to do anything, so this is fine. But there was nothing planned for the trip, except that they wanted some work done on their house. So I was basically outside. Oh God, I don't even know. Probably like 10 hours.
That's
First
not
day,
a trip, Brandon.
8 hours the second day, I think.
That's them taking advantage of you.
And then then when it was time to go to the beach, dog, I was so burnt on the back of my
I'm
neck.
sure.
Like you couldn't even believe it. So then when it was time to go to the beach, I don't know why I didn't just say, no, I'm going to stay home because I'm going to get burnt worse. And the whole time we were there at the beach, I just felt myself cooking. Like the sunscreen, I think, was either like expired or it was really weak. It was like 15 SPF
Like you
or
just
something.
feel like getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah, exactly.
I
And
know, the tightness of the skin.
yeah, exactly. And you just can't escape it too. So this is for reference. This was
Yeah.
like this was close to Miami, so it's like South Florida. It's like
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was awful. And so like I kind of just wanted to be out of the shade or out of the sun and into the shade. There's nowhere to sit, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nowhere to sit in the shade,
That
and everything
hot sand.
sandy. I don't know
Yeah.
if either Dan or you have. Kelsey, have you ever been to like the ocean before, like the beaches?
No.
Okay.
No, thanks. I've never seen an ocean. Okay.
Well,
Rub
the
it in.
sand is like it's not like lake beach. How it's like really
Yeah,
coarse.
it's not all
like,
rocky.
It's fine. It's way closer to like powder.
Yeah.
And so it gets all over everything. And so every time I went to reapply sunscreen, it was like rubbing sandpaper all over my already
no.
burnt neck. And so here's how that photo went. It went, all right, guys, let's go get a picture by the water. Okay, you want to hold the camera? Like to some rando. And so I'm just sitting
No, that's
there.
even worse.
I'm sitting there. All right, 3, 2, 1, smile.
Yeah.
And then I'm back to
nothing.
normal. And then I go
Yeah.
lay back down.
Suffering.
And by the way, nobody knows what you just did. Only we saw that. So you.
Well, that's why I did the cord sting.
Okay. Well, do you want to tell them what you
The-
did? That you
the
just made a.
2-second fake
You had
smile.
like
I
a-
wasn't smiling, and then I smiled.
Yeah.
And then I stopped smiling.
The beep was
That
him
sounds like a
smiling.
Nightmare. I will be honest. The older I get, sorry,
Stop.
the older I get, the less appealing vacations are. Can I just say that? And I don't think that's how it should be, but oh my god, there are very few places I want to go anymore.
Well, that's just because
Except
you're
for, like,
poor.
That's
No.
true. I think it is because
Well.
we grew up poor. Because like now Natalie will ask me like, what are you gonna do? You know, we're planning a vacation. Where do you want to go? And I'm like,
No way.
vacation. And I start to like, get shell shock and start like shaking a little bit. And then I go incredibly still and I stare at the ground or the wall.
Well, I think I just don't like sweating. So I don't like hot places. And it's like, where the are you gonna go, Colorado?
Go to Tennessee for a family vacation.
Drive back 13 hours without air conditioning.
True.
You guys remember that? I wanted to
Both
that was probably the
times.
closest I've been.
In the back of a truck, mind you.
I know, we were all touching.
Not even
our
a
legs
mini,
sticking
bro.
together.
And we're
I know,
not,
the straight up and down seats.
We're
you
not
couldn't even
like,
recline. Skinny?
yeah, I was going to say what the supermodels would call
Yeah, I remember.
bodily attractive.
Daniel is.
I fell asleep.
Daniel's skinny.
Hey.
Daniel, I used to hate, this is how much I hated you
Yeah.
back in the day. Kelsey, and
Same.
don't
I
even,
think we're
don't
doing
even.
the same.
I already
you
know what you're gonna say.
I so badly wished the curse of the fat, the me and Kelsey fat upon you, Daniel.
Yes.
Because
I
that's
was like,
how much
why
I
does
hated
he
you
get
when
to
we
be the
were
skinny
kids.
one? I was like, it's f***ing unfair. And him being like, yeah, I don't really like soda. And like, okay,
Okay,
rub it in.
Whatever. Who
yeah,
asked?
neither do I. You.
Mama?
God damn.
Joe Mama?
I'm glad I'm not the only one who felt that way.
I know. Well, if that gives you
Oh
any
my
idea.
God.
That's all just to say this is how fat we are, and we had to sit in the back of a Chevy Silverado crew cab from Tennessee to Central Kansas
Yeah, I remember like
in
was
one
so
sitting.
bad.
falling asleep in there or something. And I woke up because you guys were playing with my mouth or something. You were like,
I don't know
Not me,
about
I don't know
that.
who you're talking about. Yeah,
like
I
with
don't
your
know who you're
fingers,
talking about,
like you were
honey.
like,
Oh, you know what? I think I do remember
Yeah.
that.
I don't remember.
or like you were pushing my
I
head,
remember
like from
trying
on
to
you.
Oh my god. I remember trying to sleep, but like the seatbelt thing was like here, so you couldn't.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like right by your head, so you couldn't lean. So you had to lean forward. And I remember literally getting like rug burn on my forehead from rubbing on the seat in front of us. Yeah, it was bad. That was a bad trip. This is trauma. This is Trauma Town. Hey guys, welcome to Trauma Town.
Well, that's probably why you don't like vacations. Is because the only vacations were in.
Well, that's the thing.
You
We
know-
don't know how. Like, literally,
Yeah.
we don't know what to do. I mean, that sounds like so cringy to say out loud, but like,
Well,
No,
you never
yeah.
learned to schedule because it was like, oh wait, we're going to Tennessee.
well, yeah. And then now the idea of like, okay, you have a little bit of adult money. You can go theoretically,
Sorry.
within reason, anywhere. You can do theoretically anything. What do you want to do? And it's like, can I please just stay home?
yeah.
Like, and
Can I just not?
Can I not do anything at all? So let me think if there's anything else from the vacation. Not really. I mean, yeah, like I said, it was literally just like they needed stuff done to their driveway, needed some concrete poured.
Big
and
man.
They needed
I think
like
that is not a vacation.
like their faucet. They needed some plumbing work done. They needed power washing, like the pool, like the not
Did
the
you get
pool, but the
paid?
deck.
Paid?
In lifetime memories and
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all you really need.
pretty decent food, I must say. The food was pretty darn good too, because they took us out to meals and stuff, like 3 times a day. Dan, where'd you go, buddy?
I am
Come back, baby.
messaging somebody because they are spamming me.
Joe?
Mama?
Kelsey, I like your
Yeah.
Demir nail polish. I didn't know you were a...
Yay.
Yeah.
Thanks. No one can see.
True.
Okay, so I have a nail polish problem. I went and spent like $100 at Walmart today, like I said, and a lot of that was nail polish. So not a lot, a chunk. I have a lot of nail polish.
I can't
don't know
even
what I'm doing.
conceive
It just makes me happy. Well, nail polish is expensive.
participating in a social convention.
I
such
like
as
it. It
paint
makes me
thy
feel
nails.
pretty. Okay, you want to bring up daddy issue? It's because my dad never let me wear nail polish as a kid because he said it made me look like a
Well,
now I'm freeing myself. I'm healing my inner child, King. So anyway, the Stan lingo, Twitter, Stan Twit lingo, kind of brings us into my most exciting story that I get to tell you guys. So I don't think I ever told you. Have I told you about Cheese Guy?
Cheese
Have
guy?
I told
Say
you
it
about
again.
Cheese Guy?
Just say it again.
Have
That
I
sounds
told you
really
about
familiar.
Cheese Guy? Okay, I don't think I have. So, there's this man who has been coming into my work pretty frequently. And, like, I would say like a month ago, he said, hey, weird question. Do you like cheese? And I was like, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
okay,
like
you
a...
Well,
Did I tell you on the podcast?
Or maybe I saw a tweet or something.
Okay. No, I did tweet about this. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not like a cheese fanatic or anything, but I like cheese. And so he pulls a fucking block of cheese out of his pocket.
what?
Okay? It's on sale. It's 99 cents. That's all I'm worth to this man, okay?
Right on.
Of like organic sharp cheddar. And he gives it to me. And I'm like, oh, thanks. That's cool. Haven't eaten it still. It's sitting in my fridge. I'm going to throw it away because bad experiences
Bad
to
experience. You eat that cheese and you're gonna get like washed away. You're gonna get spirited away to like a different dimension or something.
Probably. Oh, speaking of, I had these nice men who work in an Italian restaurant bring me dinner the other day, and it was fettuccine alfredo, and it was great, until it made me dead. I literally that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
Thanks
the
for
last time
sharing.
I'll be eating food from strangers. Okay, also, just a side note.
Thank you for sharing.
Another reason I'm not going to be eating the So anyway, he gives me the cheese. A little bit back, he had brought cupcakes, but he brought them for everyone. I'm doing air quotes, everyone, to thank them, at my work. But I was like, I know what this is. So anyway, so he's been showing interest for a couple months, okay? Right? All right. So I'm vibing, whatever. He's like not ugly. He's not cute though.
Out of 10.
But I was like, out of 10, knowing what I know now or like beforehand.
Just before.
Probably like a 6. But like the whole like it feels good to be wanted,
That's kind of why I was wondering, because like that can kind of spearhead and
Yeah. Exactly.
my brain don't work, so I can't think of the word, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm not like attracted to him, but I was like, he's nice. Like, what if this is what I need,
yeah.
in a relationship? Someone who's nice and the attraction will come later. Whatever. Okay. Well, I thought.
You're sounding
So-
quite shallow right now.
Yeah. Well, guess what? For a reason, my intuition was right. Okay. Well, so Friday, I worked Friday, but I worked a short shift, so I worked 4 to 8. And I was talking to my coworker, and I was like, okay. If he comes in, I'm not gonna say his name, okay? But I was like, if he
What's it
comes
start
in,
with? Of course.
yeah. If he comes in, I'm gonna ask him for drinks. And my coworker's like, yeah, that's like a good idea. He was like wingmanning him, and I was like, okay. So he doesn't come in, okay?
Good, you're off the hook.
I wish. And my coworker leaves me a note for the next day. So Saturday I come in and it says he came in at 8:15 and I had left at 8. So I was like, fuck, misconnection. Oh my God. And so I made a resolution. I was like, okay, the next time he comes in, I'm going to ask him for drinks. And I'm getting all hyped up. And,
Truly,
I'm like,
I know our expansive, vast audience doesn't know that much about you, Kelsey.
But I don't do
I'm like
this, right?
shocked to even
right,
hear.
right. Thank you.
hear
I
you
know,
say
right?
That right now.
Thank you. I know. I had texted Kirsten and she's like, I can't even believe I'm talking to you about this.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, I'm going to put myself out there. A man is showing interest in me. Like, this is like my, like, green light. Okay. And so he comes in Sunday. So the day after Saturday,
Oh?
he comes in Sunday and I'm like, I'm feeling bold. Okay. I'm like, hey, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to go get drinks. And he said, oh, that's crazy because I wanted to ask you if you wanted to go get drinks. And I was like, looks like we have a common interest. And so I was feeling so smooth too. I was feeling so cool. Little did I know. So, he pulls out his phone. I give him his number. I wish. I give him my number. He texts me, whatever. We're talking for the night. Oh my God. We figure out a time that works, and the only time that works is the next day at like 1:30 when he gets off work. Okay? Like 1:30 p.m. So we decided to have like a lunch date type thing, okay, for the next day. And I'm like so fucking nervous and so excited. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the beginning of the end of my life. You know, I'm gonna find my life partner.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Like, this is crazy. I don't do this shit. Like I said, in college, I just had like a phase. That was it. I don't date. So we meet up at this like bar place. They also serve food, whatever. It's like one. Okay, here's the first bad sign. It's like 1:30. There are 2 other like couples in there, and they're old people. It's quiet as like you can hear a pin drop. It's so quiet in there. And I'm like, ooh, this is not good.
Right.
So, oh my god. So we sit down. The guy gives us our menus, but we start talking and we kind of forget to look at the menus, whatever.
Ooh.
And
Good connection.
He is like kind of around. I know, I thought so. He's kind of around on his phone and he's kind of distracted, but I'm like, whatever, you know, like he just got off work, so he's probably trying to catch up on. And he goes, I just need, oh my god. He goes, I just need to let you know that, I gotta take my girlfriend to Lawrence in a little bit. So, like, we can't, like, this can't go on too long. And this is before we had even ordered or anything.
Right.
And I stop and I go, what do you mean by girlfriend? You know, which is like,
Yeah.
I would feel like a normal response because this is obviously not a friendship thing. It is very much a date, right?
Right. You just got turned into a homie.
Yeah.
Or,
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. So I go, what do you mean by girlfriend? He's like, you know, like my girlfriend. Like he said, we've been dating for years. She's 33 and she has 3
What?
kids.
Yo.
He goes, we're in a poly relationship. She's actually married.
Okay.
But she's in the process of getting a divorce. And here's the best part. He goes, we were monogamous up until you. So I'm like, okay. And I'm like, does she even know you're here with me if you guys were monogamous? And he said, yeah, I just texted her. And I'm like, okay. Already I'm like not feeling this. So, but I'm like, you know, like, I can't just like leave because we haven't even ordered yet, even though I literally wanted to bolt. So anyway, the guy comes up and like we order and I order like a drink. Can you stop?
Yeah, the autism's kicking in real quick.
The waiter comes up, I order a drink, we order drinks, whatever. And, oh my god, I'm like literally like thinking back and I want to we're like talking and shit. And he's like, saying, he's like, yeah, I just like, I don't really know if I want to be with my girlfriend or not, you know, like, he's like, she has 3 kids and I want to start a family, but I don't want like her kids, I want to have kids of my own.
Wait, okay,
and
just,
I'm like,
I'm just so curious. Just pause here. Like, where do you stand with all that? I'm assuming the story evolves farther than this. Than this.
So
but
at
just
the
right
time,
there, what are you thinking?
Okay, well,
That's a
at the
lot.
time-
I mean, that's so
Yeah,
much. Like
it was.
and that's
And it
fine.
was a lot
I'm not
to take in.
no judgment. I'm just saying that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in, and
Also,
at
to
that
his
point-
credit. Oh, never mind. I guess I don't know everything. Sorry, I'm gonna shut that.
yeah, no credit. He does not get any credit.
Okay, well, I was gonna say,
So-
I guess if you are gonna do something like that, you know, that's the time to do it. Is up front.
I feel like maybe the
Well-
time was the night before you made plans.
Yeah. Well, and that's what frustrates me is he had all night because we were texting the night before too.
Right.
Like for maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, that's
and he just
true.
failed to mention that. And when we sat down, he said, I didn't want to tell you because I was scared. And I was like,
So what?
you didn't
Oh
want
my
to tell me that you had
God.
a girlfriend? Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have. He said I didn't want to scare you off. And I was like, what the
That's like that's borderline. That's like entrapment of like
Yes.
you know through omission, like
Thank you.
that's not
right.
You can't be doing that stuff, bro.
Right. So I'm at this point he was telling me he doesn't really see it working out with his girlfriend because he wants to start a family, whatever. And he also is like, I don't really do the poly thing. He's like, I'm very like I'm a very jealous person, he's like, I like.
Yeah, he's real jealous
I
with her and her husband.
I know. Okay, but at the time, I was like, once again, okay, the feeling of being wanted is like a very like intoxicating feeling, like you want to believe this if someone is like interested in you,
Yeah.
Coming from someone who doesn't have a lot of like, people don't come up to me and like want to date me, okay? Not trying to be like, oh, woe is me, but this is like still pretty new to me. Thank you, okay. I know. No, after this, no, I'm up. So, I'm like, at this point, okay, we're vibe checking, okay? At this point, I was like, okay, genuinely, if he, you can call me stupid. I was like, genuinely, if he breaks up with his girlfriend, we could, like, continue this. Cause we were hitting it off, like, we had really good conversation, even though he has a girlfriend, okay?
Right. Honey, you had
like,
good conversation. Because he had a girlfriend.
Yeah, probably.
This is all yikes.
So I know. No, it gets worse. So, I tell him basically after that, like, cause he had, talked about how he doesn't think it's gonna work out. And I said, well, I basically told him, I said, I only do monogamy. I was like, I don't do poly. It's not something I'm comfortable with. I said, so if you want to break up with her and see where this goes with me, you can, is basically what I told him. Which is crazy. That is also something that Kelsey wouldn't do, is like be upfront with someone.
Yeah, Kelsey would
right?
be like...
This sounds like
Kelsey
someone
would be like,
else. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just whatever you want, King.
Yeah, right? No, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I was possessed. It was, like, really scary. Well, and I was also drunk. Because I'm, like, I haven't been drinking, and so I got, like, 2 shots in me, and I was, like, up. So, I told him, I said, hey, we can continue this, I'm feeling it, you just have to be single. And he's like, yeah, I understand that, blah, blah, blah. So we keep talking and oh my god, he goes outside to smoke. Ew. So he smokes cigarettes. I know, that was another red flag where I was like, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere. Minus? That's a minus. That is a big minus.
Some people are into that.
No,
some people would that be. No, I ran a poll on Twitter, bro. I said, okay, it was like, would you be more attracted to somebody if they pulled, or like at a party if they pulled out a cigarette or whatever?
Okay,
and,
that's
and it came
different,
off,
though.
It was like I swear it was like 48% yes and like just over half was no.
Your little
and then
Twitter poll.
And then I said, wait. What if it was a vape and it was like it was like 2% yes, and then like literally everybody was like no. So there's a little bit of
smoking's just nasty. It just smells bad. It makes you feel awful.
Social. I can do social smoking. If you're up, you pull out a cigarette. I'm also up. I'm gonna be vibing. But if it is like middle of the day, you have to leave our date to go smoke a cigarette because you're that addicted. You come back smelling like a ashtray. I'm like not feeling it, I can smell it on his breath, and we're sitting, across a booth from each other.
Right.
What?
Right.
Oh, I thought you said wait.
No, I said.
I was like, wait,
I said, listen
what?
to this.
Okay, I'm listening. That's sick.
Whoa.
You know the saddest part? I had promised myself I wasn't gonna like steamroll this episode, and here I am again. But I promised my life is a movie, and this happens. Dog. I know. This fell into my lap, and it is content central. So anyway, I feel like I need to explain the type of person he is. So he pulled out his phone and started showing me his YouTube history of things he likes, and it was Hearthstone playthroughs and Pokemon competitive competitive Pokemon play.
Like card game.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Brandon's like, I might be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh with him.
Once again, though, no. I'm trying to like be like fake
Pokemon
cool
players
and like
are like a different breed, bro. They're
I
not
know.
like that. Me and my Magic pals, me and my Yu-Gi-Oh buds. We're just like
no.
That's that's like borderline or like mainstream at this point. The Pokemon players who actually play it, not just collect the cards.
You're already
it's
making
cringe.
haters.
I know.
Yeah.
Once again,
you know
though,
what? Joe.
I'm trying to be like cool and like supportive and because I think my problem, maybe not, maybe this proved me right, is that I think I self-sabotage and I try to find wrong with people, and if something is their interest, I'm trying to be like, that's cool, and not be like, that's a red flag, even though I was proven right again. So anyway, and then he's like, yeah, I just like am really into music and blah blah blah, like I have a record collection, and except for the fact that I mentioned a Mr. Big song. You know that song that's like
Big.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but you know who Mr. Big is, right?
I remember an album cover of theirs that Kathy
I'm
had.
the one who wants to with you. You know, deep inside, I hope you feel it too.
Yeah,
that song.
There's something
and
weird
he was
about
like,
one of the
"Oh,
album covers."
He was like, "Oh, I've never even heard of them," and I was like, "Oh, so you're a fake music fan."
Oh, it's the one. So here it is. It's the one that's all like blue, like desaturated, but it's like blue hue, and it's got this fat kid like flexing, and then this really skinny kid like squeezing his arm. I could just simply show it to you.
Yeah, I've quite literally
Tell me
never
if
seen
this
that.
does
I don't
anything
think.
to you.
No.
Can you see that? I don't know why.
I don't think I've ever seen that in my life.
That used to like. I felt like exceedingly uncomfortable when I looked at that.
Is that 2B?
Joe?
So anyway, back to it. Like, I'm trying to describe his personality. I guess he, asks me if I'm into games, and I'm like, not really. I was like, that's cute, Daniel. I said
very nice.
The only games I play are Animal Crossing and Luigi's Haunted Mansion 3.
Yeah, gamer girl.
So and he like is telling me about his game collection and has like over 100 like Switch games and all this shit.
Why is he
I know, but once again, I was drunk.
Switch games.
I was drunk. What I know, it's all red flags now. But he's like, okay, so here's the part that is like so cringe. He goes, "Did you know that I was coming in specifically when you worked to see you?" And I straight up told him, I was like, yes. I was like, you made it pretty obvious. And he's like, what gave it away? And I was like, the cheese. And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. And he kept just saying, keep in mind, this is a man with a girlfriend, okay, who is monogamous up until me, okay?
Ooh.
And he keeps going, you're so cute, and like all this cringe shit, and I'm not saying it back. I'm like, oh, thank you. And he's like, you are, oh my god, okay. He also, it just keeps getting worse the more I remember. He used to work at a comedy club. Whoa. And so he was telling me some of his material. And it would be like, so, I met my ex-wife at my work the other day. I work in a morgue. I literally straight up told him, I said, you need to get better material. I was kind of being a bitch, but I was like, that's not that funny. I kept telling him, I was like, okay.
This is so bad.
I know, it gets worse. You just wait. I know it doesn't seem like it can get worse, but it gets worse. So yeah, he's like telling me his stand-up, and it is like so bad. And he goes, yeah, my favorite comedian is Anthony Jeselnik. He just has this really edgy, dark form of comedy that's like really offensive, and people like, get really offended by it. And I just really like that. And I'm like, oh my god, red flag number 600.
Anthony Jeselnik's stand-up routine is literally like a half a step above just Dead Baby. Like, what's the difference between Dead Baby and a Corvette car? Don't tell a Corvette car in garage. Like, that kind of that's
exactly.
Like,
I know. I was like, when he said that, I was like, mm-mm. And I tried to talk to him about like Bo Burnham, and he's like, I just think that Bo Burnham's like so overrated and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay,
Joe,
like you're trying to be like cool because everyone loved Inside by Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's like saying all this shit. He's like, God, he's like, you're so my type. He's like you are definitely my type.
On everything that I say.
Yeah, basically. No, I think he meant like physical. Oh my god, at one point, okay, I had like stalked his Facebook, and he likes to date big bitches. And so at one point he said some bullshit like, oh yeah, I bet you like them thick. And I said, no, I think that's you. And he was like, oh, who have you been in contact with? And I said, I'll be quite honest, I stalked your Facebook, and, you know, you like big obviously. So, which is another thing I was trying to...
Was that weird in context, or was it just kind of like a ha-ha, hee-hee?
Which part? Me stalking or him saying you like them thick?
Just all of it. Like, it's hard to imagine, because I can imagine this thing, like, as the drunkiness rises, like,
it wasn't
it gets
weird.
funny, and then it's like funny and like it's normal, but then like as things start to like dissolve, it's just like you two just like picking at each other and just
we were both getting continually more drunk because we were ordering more drinks.
What time was this at?
So it was like 1:30.
Yeah, okay.
Once again, day drinking. I don't do day drinking. Should I? But anyway, so yeah, he keeps being like, oh my god, you're my type. And like, I had a scrunchie on, and he like grabbed the scrunchie and was like, oh, this is cute. And like trying to touch me and
the Kelsey scrunchie.
It was weird. I know, and it was a big one.
The oversized one?
And he was like, he was like, oh, I love your outfit. You know, it looks so good on you, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets to be like 3 o'clock. So I'm there from like 1:30. No, he got up early. So I was there from 1 to 3. So like 2 hours. And I'm like fairly drunk at this point. Like I can still drive. Imagine, yeah. I guess I'm not drunk because I could drive. I was pretty buzzed though. So he gets up one more time before we leave. Because he's like, oh, I wish this could go on for so much longer, but like, I gotta go take my girlfriend to Lawrence. And oh my god, this is the cringe part. He gets up to go piss. He's like, this is what happens when I drink. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what happens with everyone.
Alcohol do be a diuretic dough.
Yeah, exactly. And he, oh my god, we're sitting oh my god, I don't even want to say it. It's not as cringe as like the prom story, but like it's so fresh that it's like so cringe to me. And I'm sitting there in the booth, and he comes back and he slides into my side and he goes, I'm on your side now.
I know it.
And we're like, he's like we're like touching shoulders, and I straight up go, you want me to scoot over? And no. he's like, yeah, he's literally like, no. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, we better get going, because you gotta go take your girlfriend somewhere. Like, at this point, I'm like, I'm done. I want to leave so that I can go, like, tell people what happened, and so I can process this. And we go outside. Keep in mind, it is like 3 o'clock. It is broad daylight. We're both buzzed. He's like, well, I'll walk you to your car, even though I parked right up front. And it's also daytime. Oh my god. And so we're standing there, and he's like, oh, I feel so awkward. He's like, this is so awkward. And I was like, yeah, it's like broad daylight, and we're the only ones who are like buzzed. Like, it feels like it should be nighttime. I just feel really exposed out here. You know, I'm like, this feels weird. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm just making it weird. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And he goes, well...
I'm taking my headphones half out.
No, it's not bad. It's not as bad as I think you're thinking. He just goes, well, let me at least give you a hug. And so he like pulls me in for a hug, and I just do like the one arm, like, and he's like holding me tight, and I'm like, please stop squeezing me. Like, this is going on too long. Once again, it's daylight. Everyone can see us just hugging. Right. It's weird. Like, you know, I feel so, you know, like when it's like too bright out and you're like, everything's so exposed.
Especially when you've been drinking a little bit. Everything's like way too vibrant.
I know, yes. I'm like, God, I feel like I'm on like the set of some TV show and everyone's just watching me. So he's like basically, like he hugs me, and then I'm like, okay, bye. And we're, this part's even worse, actually. I'm walking back to my car, and I hear him go, hey. And I turn around, and he's like pretty far away, and he goes, thank you for this. resident sleeper. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, no problem.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, okay, the worst is over, you know? I went on a date with a man who has a girlfriend. Whatever. I get home, and I'm like still kind of buzzed. And I'm like sitting in the gazebo, and I'm like, okay, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. I'm like crying and because I'm like, I feel so stupid. Like, I just figured, you know, if someone accepts an invitation to drinks that they wouldn't have a girlfriend. And so I just feel really stupid and like this is my fault, even though it's not. And then I'm also feeling stupid for giving an ugly man a chance, you know? And my whole world is crashing down. I'm like, I really thought like I had faith in myself to pick good men, and apparently I just want to be wanted, and I'll literally pick anyone. So he texts me and he's like, I had a really fun time, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I basically, like, because I still wanted to bring up that I don't around with men who are in relationships. I go, yeah, we should do it again when you're single. Even though I don't really have any intention of doing anything. And he goes, here's how I know. He goes, well, can we at least be friends? I said, don't you think that's a slippery slope? And he said, I don't if you don't. And I said, well, I do. Okay, yeah. I was like, I do think that's a slippery slope.
He should be blacklisted.
Like, exactly. You have a girlfriend and you want to me.
Well, before that point.
There's no friendship. Yeah. Like, we can't be friends. That's not, you know that this is not it. You aren't intending to be friends with me.
Right.
And so I told him no. And whatever, going about my day, having my mental breakdown, drinking and smoking and crying all night because I feel so stupid and embarrassed. And that night got really okay, like very and it's like, let me pull my phone out. You think the story ends at the date. It doesn't. So, I get a text at,
if he says something 11, like, hey, I broke up with her.
At 11:26 p.m. I'm gonna read this text to you. Even though I think you guys saw this on Twitter. I get a text from a random number, okay? I don't have this person in my phone. They said, hey Kelsey, this is so-and-so's girlfriend. I'm glad he's wanting to branch out with friends. I don't want there to be any misconceptions about us being monogamous now either, though. So if you had more in mind than being his friend, I'd appreciate you not breaching that. So I'm here. I'm so I'm like freaking out. I'm like so scared. I'm like, holy shit. This man literally lied to me about being in a poly relationship and also lied to her about what this meeting was. Because if you remember at the date, I asked if she knew that I was like, we were on a date right now. And he said, yes. He said, yeah, I just texted her. So he lied and basically said, yeah, I'm looking to make a new friend. We're getting drinks right now is basically what he said.
How did she get your number?
She was snooping through his phone. So she saw me text him and go, that was really fun. We should do it again when you're single. So I look like a homewrecker because I look like I know that he's in a relationship.
That just clicked with me.
Yeah. I look like I know he's in a relationship and I'm trying to get him to break up with his girlfriend, which is exactly what I wasn't trying to do. So basically I text her back and I like apologize and I'm like, yeah, he literally failed to mention that he was in a relationship and like I never would have asked him for drinks if I knew that.
Right.
And I was like, I'm really sorry for the tension I caused. I told him I don't want to be friends and like I hope that he respects that.
Yeah.
And she goes, that's understandable. I don't want to feel like I'm preventing him from having friends, but I can't chance him breaching our trust and cheating on me again. And at this point, okay, once again, I am like, and I go, like, I'm texting people and I'm like, I don't want to tell her the truth that he told me that they were like poly and that you were okay with this because I'm scared that she's going to break up with him and he's going to come into my place of work and kill me. Once again, very but also I don't trust men and I'm like so scared that he's like going to be like, you ruined my life, you like, let me kill you. Let me just wait for you at 11 o'clock when you close and kill you, you know? So I'm like trying to be nice, you know, and just like I'm trying to like take the blame so that she doesn't break up with him so I don't die. And so I just go, oh, I definitely understand that. I asked him to drink under the impression he was single, and I don't mess around with taking men, so you don't have to worry about me pursuing a romantic or any other type of relationship with him. And I was like, I wish you two the best, and I'm seriously so sorry to have caused any problems between you guys. And then she just sent me a green heart.
Blocked.
So she's kind of a queen, first of all. We kind of stand her. I left out the best part. He had come in, and I was like, this man is playing me, because he had come in with a girl a couple weeks before I had asked him to drinks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told my coworker, I was like, he's playing me. He's trying to make me jealous. Turns out that was his girlfriend. So I was literally right. He was playing me. Yeah, he had brought his girlfriend into my work. Yeah. So anyway, the moral of the story is, I guess, ask men if they're single before asking them to drinks. But then again, they'll probably still say they are single. So
you, to summarize, you alphaed your way, asked this guy out. You find out he has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You stay there with him, knowing he has a girlfriend.
Okay, don't blame this on me.
Daniel has a...
What am I supposed to do?
Drunk drive home.
I did not drive home.
You do illegal narcotics, get yourself
that I did.
Then his girlfriend messages you, and now the story's probably going to continue, and you're going to alpha with her now.
Yeah, well, no,
yeah,
she
get
seems
with her.
like...
Yeah, get with her.
No, she's got snaggle teeth.
Oh. The one red
She
flag.
looks like the type of girl he would date, which...
Oh.
I lowered my standards. I am so much hot. If anything, this just like made my god complex even worse. I'm like so much hotter than he deserves to go out with. Okay.
That's sick.
You're sounding kind of toxic.
I know. Do you see what happens when I lower my standards? I get into this mess. So apparently I need to aim higher.
Whoa.
But
I mean, you start sounding shallow at the start.
Once again, show me where my intuition was wrong in this.
Well,
I
you know, I could have
weird
told when he
juju.
gave you cheese.
Okay, I thought he was just being nice. I thought I was being courted.
Hey, here's some cheese, bro. Take it home with you.
So, I guess my question is, where did I go wrong?
And on that note, please tune in next week. We're gonna lock Kelsey in a cage.
Can we call this one something like Kelsey's Disaster or something?
Kelsey's Disaster.
Kelsey's Disaster Date.
Yeah.